Lines from 2 points, diagonal only. What is the equation of a line that passes through the points 3, 3 and negative 1, 7? We have some guidelines here, but before we get started, visually I want to show you what's happening. So they basically give us 2 points. We have 3, 3 and we have negative 1, 7, and we can graph these. 3, 3 from the origin is right 3, up 3. And then negative 1, 7 from the origin is left 1 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we had a piece of graph paper, we could actually figure out the equation of the line by graphing those 2 points. Then we could actually go ahead and write the equation. Now keep in mind, when they say equation and it's a diagonal, you're going to be talking about y equals mx plus b. That's slope-intercept form. We can figure out our slope from here by simply going down and then to the right, and then we can find our b value. So just really quick, so here's our slope. We're going down and then we're going to the right. So our m in this case, we went down 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1, 2, 3, 4. So our m in this case was negative 4 over 4, or negative 1. And then our b value, where it crosses, is this point right here, and that looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our b value is negative 6. That's just graphically looking what's going on. Now the way that we'll solve it algebraically, because graph paper and doing this, it's not as efficient. Algebraically, we're going to use the slope formula to find our slope. So here we go. So algebraically, step 1, we're going to find our m by using the formula for slope. I'm going to put 3, 3 in the first spot. And then I'm going to use, let's use blue for this one. I'm going to put this in my second spot now. So my y value, and when I put in this x value of negative 1, that's going to be a negative negative 1, which will simplify to plus 1. So notice that I have 3 minus 7, which is negative 4, and 3 plus 1, which is 4. And notice we got the same slope we did when we did with graph paper. Number 2 now, according to step number 2, we're going to use the slope-intercept form to solve for the y-intercept. This is what we did on the prior lesson, where they gave us a point and a slope. We have to solve for b by going back to slope-intercept form. And then we have a choice of putting in 3, 3 for x and y, or we can put in negative 1, 7 for x and y. I think 3, 3 is simpler, so I'm going to put 3 in for y. I'm going to put 3 in for x. And then the b value we just found over here, which is negative 4 over 4, or that's simplified to negative 1, which is the same thing we had here. So in goes negative 1 for m. The equation will simplify after I multiply negative 1 times 3. So I've got 3 is equal to negative 3 plus b. I'll solve for b by adding 3 on each side of the equation. So 3 plus 3 is 6, is equal to b. And notice that we got the same b value of negative 6 over here. Step number 3, our final step now, is we're going to rewrite this in slope-intercept form. Our m that we found here and here is negative 1. Don't forget your x after that. And then the b value we got was 6, so I'm going to put plus 6. Again, the same thing we found over here. Of course, we don't need the 1 between the negative and the x, so we could simplify that as y equals negative x plus 6. But mathematically, either of those are acceptable. So again, we have the graph paper to visualize what's going on, but I'd like for you to stick to these 3 steps. Number 1, find m. Number 2, find b. Number 3, write it in slope-intercept form. So again, I have the graph paper over here where I could go ahead and graph it to show you what's happening. But I'm actually just going to go straight into these 3 steps. Because again, the algebra is kind of the quickest and most efficient way. So let's see. Number 1, let's find our m. I'll use red for this point right here. So I'm going to put negative 6 on top. And the corresponding x value or 2 underneath it. Then I'm going to use blue for my second point, 4 on top. And then when I put the negative 2, again, notice this is negative 2, that's going to turn to plus 2. Negative 6 minus 4 is negative 10. And then 2 plus 2 is 4. I can divide that by 2 over 2, and negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we found our slope. Number 2 now is we're going to use slope-intercept form to solve for b. So going back to slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. I can choose either point. I think negative 2, 4 is a little bit easier than 2 and negative 6, so I'm going to use this x value and this y value. So 4 goes in for y. My m is right here. That's going to be negative 5 over 2, which is a fraction. Don't worry, I'll show you how to deal with that. And then my x value is negative 2. So my equation is 4 is equal to negative 5 over 2 multiplied by negative 2 plus b. I'm going to make negative 2 a fraction by putting it over 1. And so that's going to be 4 is equal to negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. And then 2 times 1 is 2 plus b. And then notice that 10 over 2 does simplify. So I have 4 is equal to 5 because 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then solving for b, I'll subtract 5 on each side. So 4 minus 5 is negative 1 is equal to b. So we found our m, we found our b. Step number 3 now is we're going to go back to slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. We do have our b value of negative 1. Our slope, or m, is negative 5 over 2. Don't forget your x, don't forget your equal sign, and forget y. And so we have y equals negative 5 over 2x minus 1. And that's our solution. And again, just to clarify, I skipped graphing it because I just used that to conceptually show you what we're actually doing with the algebra.